Guys, so I attended UTSA Spring Game today at the Alamo Dome, and I wanted to drop in and give you guys sort of some quick thoughts of what I thought of the game and what did I make of this first sort of rendition or iteration of UTSA post Frank Harris, post Rashad Wisdom, and post that whole era that has put banners up at UTSA. I have some thoughts about that I want to share with you guys. This is going to be really quick because I want to save a lot of this for the Wednesday live chat. So it'll be important for you guys to show up on that Wednesday live chat because I'm going to go through all of my notes and talk in specifics and details about some of what I saw today. But I did want to share some quick things. Number one, the first thing I will share, just want to shout out to some of the folks that I was able to meet that are subscribers to this channel and that are folks who support Road Runners Unfiltered and has supported my show. It was great seeing you guys. It was nice meeting Yvette. She was nice, and she had a little son with her. She was kind of just talking through, just being supportive of the show. Man, that was really touching, and I really appreciate that. Also, Mike Munez. Someone who is always in the comments. I'm sure all of you guys have seen him in the comments before. He's a huge supporter of the show. I want to give him a big shout out. So it was nice meeting him in person, shaking his hand and talking to him as well. Super nice dude. That was cool. And even Frank Harris's dad, it was the first time meeting him. He was really, really nice. He came up and introduced himself, and I thought that was cool. And he said he watches the show, so that's great as well. And he credited me for being unbiased, and yeah, I appreciated that because I'm probably sure he's heard me not be so happy when Frank has played not so well and been super happy. So I don't know, that was cool. It was cool. I haven't been able to interact with you guys a ton outside of being on the show, so it was good. It was good to see folks in person, and I will certainly make some time to come to some of the tailgates and come to a couple of games this year. Even with my crazy work schedule, I'm going to make it happen because that today, even though I didn't meet a ton of people, I met just a handful. That was huge. So anyway, back to the game. Quick takeaways from the game. Here's what I'll say. Quarterbacks. I think, and I'm just gonna talk about, because we've seen Jackson Gilroy, we've seen UTSA kind of go through all of their quarterbacks right now that they wanted to showcase. But I'll stick with McCown, Eddie Lee Marburger. I think they both played all right. I don't think either one of them played extremely well. I will say just my thought. This is just my thought from a spring game. This is not, great information because I wasn't there all throughout camp, so I don't necessarily know. I'm just going to base this off of what I seen at the spring game. I felt better when Eddie Lee Marburger was in at quarterback and the way he moved the ball and the decisions that he made overall. He threw a really, really nice touchdown early in the game, which I thought was cool. He just, he managed the game relatively well, and, he improvised a little bit. We seen him pull the ball and run it. We seen him improvise and, find another option over the middle. And he made, a couple, he threw a couple of deep passes that were really, really good too throughout the game. So, I think he's a really good player. He's really talented. And I said this before, when folks were in the comments, this was, weeks and this was months back, but in the comments were saying that like McCown is going to be the starter, so on and so forth. He very well might be. But one of the things I said is when you got a guy who has arm talent like Eddie Lee Marburger, you just don't know what the development is going to be like, right? He could go away for a summer and come back and, start throwing darts. I thought he looked really good. He looked really strong. And what I'll say is if Coach Traylor, because I back Coach Traylor, I trust Coach Traylor. If Coach Traylor comes out, at the end of fall camp and says Owen McCown beat out Eddie Lee Marburger for the position, then I know we're in good hands. Because what I seen from Eddie Lee today, I seen a lot of talent at that position. Like I said, he, it wasn't a world-beating performance, but I've been watching football all my life, and I've been studying quarterbacks all my life simply because I've played corner all my life. So, like, quarterback tendencies, throws that they can make, it's just something I literally had to have an eye for, right? That dude is good. As far as McCown, when I think McCown's shown a lot of. Here's the thing about McCown. Here's what I'll say. I feel like McCown might have a higher ceiling. I don't. That's even hard to say because of how good Eddie Lee Marburger's throwing is. But here's what I'll say. He has a higher ceiling to be a dynamic quarterback, because I think he can move a little better than Eddie Lee can in terms of pulling the ball down and running the ball. But his improvisation is a lot different than Eddie Lee Marburger's, in my opinion. I feel like I said, this is a limited sample size just based on what I've seen from last season and then some of the stuff that I've seen today. One of the things that I've seen is that, like, he's going to try to he trusts his arm talent. He trusts his throwing power and his accuracy. And that can be a good and a bad thing. So it's a good thing because he threw some passes today and put some passes on the receivers that I was just like, man, that's really impressive, because that was a tight window, or like you really had to thread the needle to make that accurate, or you have to put that in a perfect spot to make that accurate. I think he's shown the ability to do that, right? I think that is something that we seen from him last season, but I seen it today on display. Now, some of those passes were, you can say, ill-advised. Like, think about the first, what was it, the second or third? I think it was the second play of the game. I think it was his first pass. It should have been intercepted. I mean, it hit the defender right in the hand. That's a problem that we didn't intercept it. But, like, it was a ball that he should have made that pass. But, like, it was underthrown, and it should have been interception. And he just kind of got lucky on that one, right? He didn't start the game off well. It took him a minute to get rolling. But when he started dealing, he looked nice. But I think that he's going to wow us with some of the throws that he can make, and you know, him being able to fit the ball in some of these tight windows. I think that's good. I think he does have good enough arm strength to really put the ball. He can go, you know, he can throw the ball from the opposite hash on a line, and it can get there, you know, outside the numbers, which is, you know, that right there is a true test of a quarterback's arm power. How can they make that pass, right? And I think he's good at that. So I think we have two good quarterbacks. Just from this game, I did feel a little more comfortable with Eddie Lee Marburger. I think he settled in a little faster. But I do see the sauce that Owen McCown has. I felt like I could feel his confidence a little bit more as well. I guess I felt a lot more safer with Eddie Lee when I was just watching. But I felt Owen's confidence. I felt his I seen his ability to, you know, his arm ability and the talent that he possesses, which is pretty good. But yeah, I'll leave it there on the quarterbacks. Last thing, just kind of an overall thoughts before I leave you guys. Like I said, be sure to join the live chat on Wednesday. We are going to go through this stuff in further detail, because I do have some notes that I really want to get to on some of these quarterbacks, but also on the other positions as well. When we talk about the front seven, what I've seen in the secondary, I'm going to tell you right now, our secondary needs work. I think they need work, especially the corners. There was a few PI calls. We got beat deep on, you know, quite a few times. I don't know which of these guys are starters and all this type of stuff, but we're gonna need to be in a conference that likes to throw the ball. We got some work to do there. But anyway, I'm gonna get to that stuff on Wednesday. Make sure you guys show up for that. But one person that stood out to me was J.J. Sparkman on the offense. He's a good receiver. He came in from Texas Tech. We had been talking on this show a little bit about what receiver is going to take that next step and what receiver is going to not necessarily take the next step, but who's going to be the next standout, right? We got all these great receivers who are leaving. We do got J.T. Clark back, but he doesn't need a lot of pressure put on him for this season based off the injuries that he's coming off of. But, like, you know, Coach has been talking about being able to stretch the field because of the speed. I definitely seen the speed on display. We definitely got some guys that can get downfield. But J.J. Sparkman really had a good game today. Tight pass, you know, catches in traffic, one-on-one balls on the outside, quick hitches. He looks like he's going to be one of the guys that's going to be a standout player. I don't know what's up with the number 26, though. I don't know if that was I don't know what that's about, but I hope our receiver is not out here rocking 26, looking like a running back out there. Anyway, but I gotta tell you this. The scrimmage, and I talked to another former player who was there, and they felt the same way. The scrimmage was a little ho-hum for me. It wasn't great. Like, they weren't tackling at all, and I understand wanting to be safe and all of that, but like, if you like at a particular time where we want to showcase the team, we want to have showcase. This is a showcase. Like, this is not Frank Harris. This is not this is not the Frank Harris era or the Rashad Wisdom era anymore. It's over with, right? So we all, as fans and supporters, have to, we all wanted to come and see, all right, what's UTSA going to look like now in this new phase that we're stepping in? And I don't feel like we got a great showcase of that, to be honest. They were playing two-touch in pads. That wasn't great. It wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't a great showcase to me, to be completely honest. I was a little bored, but, I made the best of it. I have a lot of notes, but yeah, I just wish that we would have seen a little bit more pads popping and guys like that. Like, I didn't like the two-touch approach. I just didn't like that. Like, and this maybe I hadn't been to a spring game in a long time or something like that, and like they don't tackle anymore in the spring game. But I talked to the player that I talked to that was in agreement. He came after me, so at least for him, and he's been at the program after that. Like, at least for him, he felt like, yo, what's up with the two touch? Yeah, I didn't like that part of the game, if I'm being honest. But anyway, those are just some quick thoughts. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday during the live chat. We're going at 6 p.m. Make sure you guys join that. Let me know what you guys think of the spring game in the comments. I'm going to read a lot of those off as well. So drop some comments below. Let me know how you guys, what you guys thought about the spring game and how you felt about how the quarterbacks played as well. I think that's going to be huge. Also, if you are new here, subscribe to the channel. And if you aren't new here, drop a like. That helps the channel, and that helps. If you want to know the biggest way to support me and my channel, please just drop a like. That's the biggest way. Drop a like, and if you care to do so, join as a member. You get priority, and you'll get extra content as well. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Wednesday, be there. I'll see you soon.